Welcome to American News Network. I want to first start by saying that Benny Johnson from The Benny Show has some fantastic stats and information that we want to get into, so let's start with that. And then I want to get into what President Trump had to say about this, and he'll present that as well.
Minneapolis is just a shell of itself. The Somali community has created no-go zones in that once peaceful Midwest city. Very sleepy, very kind, very native population of Minneapolis has been turned upside down by the Somali refugee crisis and criminal enterprises that are run out of Minneapolis today. Somali's community has been caught funneling multi-millions, if not billions of taxpayer dollars to a terrorist group back in Somalia after falsely diagnosing their children with autism through Medicaid. Look at this. This is the spike in claims. In 2018, $3 million in autism funding. In 2023, $399 million. Within that time period, autism centers skyrocketed from 41 to 328, with many of them being in the Somali communities. Your tax dollars are being stolen and shipped to people who hate us, who want us dead. You should be furious. This is a direct result of careless immigration policies. We must ramp up mass deportations and halt all legal migration from third world countries.
Benny's done an amazing job of going into this. Make sure you subscribe to his channel and take a look for him over on YouTube and X, in fact. But more importantly is that as he's dug deep into this, did you see those statistics? In 2018, it was at $3 million and it jumped to almost $400 million. That's crazy. And that's corruption. And that's what Benny is calling out. That's what President Trump is calling out. And that's what we need to take care of immediately. So let's listen and see what else he had to say about this.
President Trump has been going extremely hard on the Somali community of Minnesota and Minneapolis specifically, who've utterly changed the face of that community forever. And thankfully, President Trump joined me in that contention this morning by talking about the Somali crisis in Minneapolis. Look at this. Here we go. As an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somali gangs are roving the streets looking for prey. Wonderful people stay locked in their apartments. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing, either out of fear or incompetence, or worse. Congresswoman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab, who probably came into the U.S. illegally, in that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country and how badly she is treated, when her place of origin is a decadent, backward, crime-ridden nation with which is essentially not even a country for lack of government, military, police, schools. So President Trump then saying that he's going to ban all third world migration. I just love it. It's amazing. This mirrors a post that we made earlier in the last week, with 20 million views. This was reposted even by Elon Musk. There are Somali simp and stan accounts on X that are getting roasted right now, by the way. People are afraid of Somali success, they say. One Somali does something, the whole community is targeted. They're afraid of Somali success. Okay. We're not afraid of Somali success, says this user. I'm sad that Somali immigrants are so extremely unsuccessful here in Denmark. They are a net expense to the taxpayers of $24,000 on average per Somali, worse than any other immigrant group. They're so extremely criminal that they're more than 9 times more criminal than the average Danish level. So close to 70% of all Somalis in Denmark are convicted of a violent crime by the age of 30. Why would you ever, if you love your nation, why would you ever import this group of people? If you love the people of your country, why would you ever bring people in? This is the data source, Statistics Denmark. I find it fascinating here, by the way, that all of the violent offenders here, this is from 2010 to 2022, all of the violent offenders by country of origin are all Muslim countries, all of them. Yeah, President Trump had a similar comment, ladies and gentlemen, when asked about this during his briefing at Mar-a-Lago for the press on why he singled out Somalia. Here we go.
Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national...
Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. There's a tremendous amount of money going back to Somalia. What the hell are we paying money to Somalia for? But they're ripping off our country at a level that few people have been able to see before. That's about the only thing. You talk about competence. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country and our Constitution. And she comes from a country with practically no country. It's devastated, it's crime-ridden, it's a mess, it's a disgrace. And we took their people at a tremendous... We're not taking their people anymore. We're not taking their people. And we're getting a lot of their people out because they're nothing but trouble.
What data backs what Donald Trump has to say? Not only the crime data, but also obviously the cultural heritage data that is implicit when it comes to Like, are you going to be compatible with Western civilization? In Western civilization, in our laws, it is illegal to marry your cousins or your brother in Ilhan Omar's circumstance. The precise data on inbreeding in Somalia is limited, but in a 2019 genetic study of Ethiopian Somalis found 50% are products of first or second cousin marriages, with an average inbreeding coefficient higher than typical second cousin offsprings. Goodness gracious. Obviously, Somalia has been effectively at war since its creation. It's like been just a nonstop civil war in Somalia. It's been a complete nightmare. Somalia, there are 2 million Somalian refugees living abroad. Why the hell is that? A lot of them are in Kenya and Ethiopia, but a considerable portion are in the United States. Why would we ever allow that from one of the most dangerous and fraudulent countries on earth?
Great recording, fantastic statistics to go by. Benny always does such a fantastic job. Make sure that you go over and see him on YouTube and watch his videos. They're so informative and they're fantastic to watch. We would like to thank him. We appreciate his production and his interpretation on this. Look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you. Subscribe and leave us a comment here at the American News Network.